Доброго ранку.
Good morning. We start our work in the press center of Ukraine Crisis Media Center. And now Colonel Maksym Prauta, spokesperson of the Ministry of Defense, will provide information about activities of the ministry over the past week. Good morning, dear guests. Here is information about the latest activities in the Ministry of Defense and the Armed Forces of Ukraine, which took place over the past week. The Minister of Defense of Ukraine, General of the Ukrainian Army Stepan Poltorak, has had a visit to Italy, where he had meeting with the Italian Minister of Defense, Roberto Pinotti, and head of the General Staff of Italy, General Claudio Graziano. The Minister of Defense of Italy noted that defense reforms are efficient, and she also noted that Ukrainian army has made contribution to security in the region. The Minister of Defense of Ukraine thanked to Italy for their comprehensive support of Ukraine's effort to restore peace and territorial integrity of the country, and thanked for the help and treatment of Ukrainian servicemen in Hospital Celio in Rome. The sides discussed further cooperation related to medicine in defense. In Vinnytsia, in the command staff of Air Forces, there was a meeting of defense attaché at the UK Embassy, Captain of the First Rank Karen Bakhtir, with the Ukrainian colleagues. The group of Ukrainian officers was headed by Colonel General Sergei Drozdov. During this meeting, the sides discussed perspectives of bilateral cooperation in defense. For instance, the training program for students of National Defense University of Air Forces, which undergo training in the College of Royal Air Forces of Great Britain, and they also discussed possibility to organize English courses for servicemen of Ukrainian Air Forces. In order to implement the roadmap of reforms, the Ministry of Defense continues preparing new regulatory documents. The government of Ukraine adopted a provision prepared by the ministry on amendments to the provision of the cabinet of the ministry dated November 23, 2006, number 1644, which establishes the size and the procedure of payments to reserve servicemen in the amount of minimum subsistence level. In 2017, these categories of soldiers will receive payments according to the same procedure, and in future their salaries will grow as the ceiling of minimum subsistence level will be growing. And also the governmental provision spread the payment of the salary according to summary of the year on the reserve servicemen of the first queue of operational reserve. So, in the end of the year, reserve servicemen will receive, in the end of this year, additional payment of 1,600 up to 300, 100 hryvnia, depending on their rank. At present, there are nearly 20 projects of regulatory documents which are analyzed in the presidential administration and in the cabinet of ministry. In Kramatorsk, in the east of Ukraine, representatives of the staff of anti-terrorist operation, representatives of state service on emergency situation, and representatives of NGOs discussed security situation in the east of Ukraine. According to experts, at present, the territory which needs demining actions is wider than 700,000 hectares. To clear this territory, the engineers need more than 10 years, maybe even 15 years. The greatest zone of risk are villages situated along the contact line. Over the period of the conflict in the east of Ukraine, Ukrainian military engineers found and disposed almost 150,000 of mines and explosive devices. They cleared more than 3,000 hectares of territory. By the end of this year, according to the plan, 94 plots shall be cleared from mines and unexploded ordnance in 20 kilometers, in the zone of 20 kilometers along the contact line. Over the year, the staff received more than 230 applications to conduct the mining action. Recommendations provided by internal auditors during the assessment of contracts of the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry avoided losses on the amount of nearly 100 million hryvnia during its procurement procedures. This helped to reduce the cost of repairing of equipment and renovative works in the objects. Since the start of this year, the auditors provided more than 340 recommendations on the amount of more than 1.5 billion hryvnia on the improvement of efficiency of management. At present, operational audits and preliminary monitoring in the Ministry of Defense encompasses 264 packages of documents on the amount of more than 2.3 billion hryvnia. Common efforts of the legal service of Ministry of Defense and of Military Prosecutor's Office helped to return into possession of the Ministry land plot in Tarutin district in Odessa region. The High Commercial Court of Ukraine left without changes previous decisions of courts on cancellation of action of 2 contracts on the rent of the plot. As a result, the Ministry will return land plots of a total of 808 hectares. Its cost is more than 22 million hryvnia. In addition, the decision of Kharkiv, of the Appellate Court of Kharkiv region, the Ministry returned into its possession property in Kharkiv. It's of 935 square meters. The Ministry will use this real estate for treatment of servicemen who were wounded in combat in the east of Ukraine. The Ministry will continue legal work in this field. Thank you for your attention. Thank you. The next press conference of the Ministry of Defense will take place on Tuesday at 10 a.m.